Outside The Hague, we can now speak to the UN Prosecutor Serge Brammertz, who'd requested the further charge of genocide against Ratko Mladic in The Hague. Thank you for joining us. Are you disappointed that you didn't get that?
No, we are definitely not disappointed. We are very satisfied that the appeals launched by the defense was rejected in its entirety. We are very satisfied that all convictions have been upheld in relation to the genocide in Srebrenica, as you already mentioned, in relation to the ethnic cleansing campaigns in many municipalities, in relation to the hostage-taking of blue helmets, and also in relation to the siege of Sarajevo, where we all remember those pictures of snipers targeting women and children going to schools or going to the market. So we are very pleased today that this conviction was confirmed and that he got a life sentence for the crimes he committed. I spent the last 1 hour with the survivors and victims who definitely are very satisfied that finally, after the confirmation of the life sentence for Karadzic a couple of years ago, today it's also formal. It's a final decision. Ratko Mladic is a war criminal.
As you might expect, his son, Darko Mladic, takes a different view. He described the court as a travelling circus. He said his father didn't stand a chance of a fair trial. And in particular, he congratulated the presiding judge, Nyambe, for dissenting. How damaging is that?
Well, of course, I have noted the dissenting opinion. Still, we are analysing the arguments put forward. But, you know, I don't think it has a major impact. 4 out of 5 judges, the majority of judges have confirmed the trial judgment. And this is what is important today. It will not be appropriate for me to make any comments in relation to a specific judge, but this same judge has made similar comments and surprising arguments being put forward in other cases in the past. So we were not really totally surprised that also in this case she would have a different opinion. But you know, judges are independent in the expression of their opinions in relation to individual criminal responsibility. But what is important today is that it is a final decision. It is a conviction in relation to all crimes for which he had been convicted in first instance, and he will have a life sentence. That's what is important today.
I suppose the point is that one dissenting voice by the presiding judge feeds into the simmering sectarian problems which still exist in the region, and where people in Mladic's on his own territory still consider him a war hero.
That's absolutely correct. One of the biggest challenges in the former Yugoslavia today is the glorification of convicted war criminals and the denial of genocide. I don't think that, unfortunately, this conviction or even the dissenting opinion will have a major impact on this irresponsible attitude of a number of politicians who still prefer using the hatred, using the nationalistic agenda of the 90s to justify their political existence today. I really would say that this is the main challenge for the years to come. When I started in this job in 2008, there was less denial and less glorification out there. And we really would like to see the international community reacting even much stronger if a member of the presidency in Bosnia-Herzegovina is saying, like it happened a few days ago, that the genocide in Srebrenica never happened. This is unacceptable, is an insult to survivors and victims, and should not be tolerated by the international community.
Slobodan Milosevic is dead. Karadzic is in jail now, serving out the rest of his sentence in a British jail. Now Ratko Mladic, who will die in jail as well. Do you think you've missed any of the people further down the order of command who should have been brought to justice?
Well, there are definitely many other persons who need to be prosecuted from the so-called mid-level and lower-level perpetrators. The Yugoslav Tribunal indicted 161 individuals during its existence, which is more than all other international tribunals together. So one can say today that it is mission accomplished. Could it have been better? Could there have been more individuals prosecuted? Definitely. Could there have been more persons prosecuted from all sides well, that's a valid argument as well. What is important is that this decision today, which is qualified by many as a historical decision because of the important role General Mladic played in the wars in the former Yugoslavia, one needs to really recognize that it's only the end of one chapter, the involvement of the international justice. I was in Sarajevo not so long ago. I spoke last week with the Prosecutor General in Sarajevo. There are more than 500 cases still pending, more than 3,500 identified perpetrators which need to be investigated. And one of the big challenges is that many of the alleged perpetrators of massive crimes committed in Bosnia-Herzegovina are today in Serbia or in Croatia. And because those countries are not extraditing their nationals, the only possibility to see justice being done is prosecutions in Serbia and in Croatia, where some cases are ongoing, but where definitely much more needs to be done.
Okay, Serge Brammertz, UN Prosecutor, thank you very much indeed for joining us here on BBC News.
Thank you.